It started out as a normal day that day of going to church and then visiting with a friend. But a few hours later, my kids were running for help because I had started speaking total gibberish. The words coming out of my mouth made absolutely no sense at all. After months and months of pushing against the fact that my brain is not really healing and that I would not be able to return to work, I had to face the fact that this is how my life might be for a long while. That required me to take a good long look at my life. And what I saw, it actually wasn't really great. I saw a woman who had struggled her whole life with weight, with finances, with relationships, anxiety, and depression. I saw a woman who felt like a total failure, a complete loser. I didn't like this woman. I was mad at her, and I was ashamed to be her. And I knew that that all had to stop because self-loathing was not going to help me to shake depression or victim mentality. It was not going to help me to solve my problems. So I rolled up my sleeves and I got to work on changing the way that I see myself. I'm excited to say that that work has paid off big time. Today, I can honestly say that I love myself. I love being me, and I'm proud of myself for all of the things that I've accomplished, even if life didn't turn out the way that I had hoped that it would. And that's what I want to share with you today. Here are the 10 things that have helped me to grow in love and acceptance of myself, which has affected every single part of my life in the most wonderful ways. Not only did I do all of these things, but many of them have become a daily part of my life. So I hope that some or all of them might be beneficial to you also. Okay, number 1, I gave myself a reality check. I was so bogged down in depression and feeling the weight of life pressing down on me that I had forgotten all of the good things about me. But because I felt like such a loser, it was really hard to find great things about me. So I set out to find evidence to show how amazing I really am. What I did was I remembered that a long time ago, a friend of mine had challenged me to write down 100 things that I have accomplished in my life. Like 100. She said that it could be anything big or small. If I did it, it counted. Big things like leaving my abusive husband counted for sure. And even little things like learning to walk or graduating high school, which actually is not really a little thing. Anyway, all of those things counted. So I got out a piece of paper and I started writing. 100 is a lot. Like, it's a lot. But I managed to come up with them all. What did this do for me? Well, it got me thinking. It got me thinking like, you know what? Maybe I'm not such a loser after all. Yeah, there are a few big things in my life that haven't gone well, but look at this list. It's not too shabby. I've done a lot of things that I can feel really proud of. And that takes me to number 2. I needed to own my strength. So I took about 5 things from the list of my accomplishments that I had written down, the 100 of them, and I honed in on them to fully see what those accomplishments said about me. Here's the format that I used. Remember when and I filled this blank in with something really hard that I had overcome or accomplished. The next thing is even though blank, and I filled this blank in with what was so difficult about that challenging thing. And the third part is I did it. That just proves that, and I filled this last blank in with the really good things that this accomplishment said about me. So let me give you an example of how this works. Remember when I taught English to middle schoolers in South Central LA? Even though I was a brand new teacher and the school was new, so I didn't have a mentor and I didn't have books and I didn't have a curriculum to follow, I had no idea what I was doing. I did it. That just proves that I am innovative, capable, and totally able to take on difficult challenges. What did this do for me? Well, it gave me further proof that I'm not a loser. And it didn't just list accomplishments, but it helped me to identify positive traits that I have. I filled these things out for each of the 5 big accomplishments that I chose from my list. And it was such a confidence booster that I actually have incorporated this into my daily journal because I have found that I need consistent reminders like this to keep me pumped up and to keep me positive. I will share that daily journal in an upcoming video, which might be a good time to encourage you to subscribe and enable notifications so you'll be in the know when I post more videos. Number 3, I got a different perspective. So sometimes it's really hard for us to see what is great about ourselves. So what we can do is we can enlist the help of others to give us a perspective shift. The friend that I mentioned earlier, she challenged me to reach out to 10 people and ask them to send me a note sharing something about me that they admired or appreciated about me. It was a little weird to do, but it was actually really eye-opening. And my friends and family were happy to do it. I took this step a little bit further by adding a spiritual element to the assignment, and I asked my Father in heaven what he thought about me. I don't know what your spiritual beliefs are, but you can do this by using whatever higher power you connect to. I did this by writing a letter to myself of what I imagined my Heavenly Father would say to me. What has this done for me? Well, it was a really tender and happy experience. I can't begin to describe how much this encouraged me and lifted me. Connecting to your higher power and looking at what others see and think about you is very powerful and helpful. Okay, number 4. I started moving my body more because I have a very sedentary life of resting my brain all the time and sitting at a computer to do work, or actually just sitting a lot. I knew that I needed to move more so that I could get all of those happy chemicals that come with exercise flowing more for me. This is actually somewhat of a challenge for me right now because I have a torn meniscus. My knee does not like to bend, because if I shift my body around to accommodate for the non-bending knee, it puts more pressure on my other knee and on my hips. Yay! So exercising is a problem. So what I did was I first started by dancing around my kitchen. But that actually, after a few weeks, my knees told me that they were not happy about that. So now I spend my time on this, like it's kind of like an elliptical looking thing that doesn't cause me to bend my knee. It swings back and forth. It doesn't go up and down like an elliptical. I'm not trying to be on that thing for hours on end. And my purpose is really not for weight loss, although that is an added benefit. This is just for my own mental health and my sense of well-being. What has this done for me? I feel happier and I feel glad because I'm taking care of myself more. Just a little bit of extra movement in the day really does make a difference. Okay, number 5. I hug it out. I don't mean hugging other people. I mean hugging myself. I know that sounds weird, but I learned the butterfly hug from my therapist. It looks like this. And you can alternate tapping your hands on each side. On top of feeling amazing to give yourself a hug, the tapping calms the brain down and it helps you to regulate your nervous system. I will be talking more about regulating your nervous system and what that does for you in a future video too. But for now, I just have to say that this practice of hugging myself has made a huge difference in how I feel about myself. What I do is right when I lay down in bed for the night, I give myself a butterfly hug and I mentally recite like all the things that I've accomplished that day. And I give myself props for the good decisions I made or anything else that day that made me happy. Okay, number 6. Where's my fingers? Number 6. I did a thought inventory. It occurred to me that maybe my thoughts had run amok, probably for years, and that I needed to get in touch with them and in control of them. So I did this by using a technique that I had read about some years ago in a self-help book. I don't know, forever ago. What you do is anytime a negative thought pops into your head or out of your mouth, you end it with the words, "and the sky is blue." The whole point of this is just to start paying attention to your thoughts and acknowledge them. It's hard to change something that we aren't even aware of. So doing this helps us get back in touch with what's really going on in our melons. So this is how you do it. Okay. Let's say that I laughed at the really wrong time during a business meeting and thought to myself, well, that was stupid. So then I would end "that was stupid" with "and the sky is blue." Or let's say maybe I passed by the mirror and I rolled my eyes up when I saw my image because I felt angry at how my body looks. I would roll my eyes and then I would say, "and the sky is blue." Okay, one last one. What if I was trying to console my kid and ended up just pissing them off. This is actually a real thing for me because right now I have 3 teenagers and you know what happens. So I walk away from the conversation thinking, why did I say that? Why didn't I just give a hug and just listen to what they had to say? I'm a terrible mom. So you know what comes next, and the sky is blue. When I did this, I was completely shocked by how much negativity I was throwing in my own direction every single day. I mean, whoa. No wonder I didn't feel good about myself. I was beating myself up all day long. All right, number 7. Now that I was more aware of my thoughts, I needed to start challenging them. So I replaced "and the sky is blue" with asking a question like, really? Is this thought really true? Is that really how I feel? Is that really a thought that helps the situation? If I had time, I would also give myself a minute to ponder, like, where is this ugliness coming from? What am I really feeling? And then give myself just some time to feel the feels. Like, let myself feel disappointment or hurt or anger or frustration or whatever I'm feeling. I have found that when I do this without ugly words of judgment, I just allow myself to feel whatever I'm feeling. The feeling actually very quickly passes. I think it's because, giving myself time, maybe I realized that I was overreacting, or maybe I didn't really feel that way at all. I just said the negative thing out of habit, or maybe just giving myself a couple of extra seconds gave me the chance to see the other person's perspective. So much good stuff can happen when we take the time to challenge our thoughts and let our feelings have space to be felt. And that takes me to number 8. I release my feelings and negative beliefs. Sometimes, actually regularly, when I challenge my thoughts, I tap into something deeper that is bugging me. And I have learned to heed my body's and my mind's cues when it's telling me that there is something that needs to be addressed. If it's something that is kind of nagging away at me, or I feel emotional when I think or say it, that means that I've got to spend some time with it and release that feeling. My therapist taught me EFT tapping, and I have to say that is absolutely amazing. I won't go into a long description of what that is now, but I will say that I kind of learned about this practice a few years ago, but dismissed it because I thought it was too woo-woo or, out there. But holy cow, if I had only gotten over myself back then and tried it just would have helped me so much, like it is helping me now. There's a lady here on YouTube that has amazing videos that guides you through the tapping sessions. Her focus is on body image and weight for the most part, but she has other videos where she talks about core beliefs like abandonment and guilt and other things. You don't really need to know anything about tapping though, because she does explain here and there in her videos, and honestly, you can just let her video play and follow along. I know that you will be surprised at the emotional release and peace that you feel when you do it. It has been absolutely life-changing for me. Things that that I've been working on forever have been resolved in just 1 or 2 tapping sessions. That's how powerful it is. So basically, you just say a setup statement about whatever it is that you're feeling, and then you tap gently on different points in your body as you talk it out. I will put a link to her videos below. And that takes us to number 9. I had to change my beliefs. Through doing these activities that I have been describing so far, I discovered tons of negative beliefs about myself that needed altering. So I used tapping to address those beliefs, but I have also been using hypnotherapy and or guided meditation. It's tapping into your subconscious and clearing out all the junk that's piled up and is dragging you down. There is another lady here on YouTube that I found that has a voice like butter, and she's so relaxing, and she has a wonderful way of expressing exactly the things that I need to hear. I also have incorporated this practice into my daily routine because I personally have a whole mess of trauma and negative beliefs and life gunk that I'm still working on processing through. I will put a link to her videos below. And that takes us to number 10. I learned to love my body. A huge part of loving yourself is not just loving who you are as a person, but it's loving all of you. And that's your body too. I know that most of us are not thrilled with parts of our body or maybe all of our bodies. It's kind of hard to do that when we're constantly bombarded with TV, social media, and other places or things sending us constant messages that we're not good enough and that we need to fix ourselves. For me, this has been a major, major problem that I am still working on, but I have made huge progress with, and I will be sharing the things that are helping me heal my relationship with my body in my next video. I hope that this has given you some ideas that you can do to help you to feel better about yourself and love yourself for who you are. I hope to see you soon. Take care.